Kira here with another DIY embellishment video. So if you saw my baby book album kit unboxing that I did, you would have seen that I bought 3 packs of these embellishments because I'm obsessed with these wood buttons. And they make these wood buttons in a lot of different collections. I know that Chamel's Little You just came out with some wood button embellishments, and they're super cute, and I'm obsessed with them. But they're kind of expensive. I mean, they're not like crazy expensive, but it's like $5 for like, you know, like a pack like this, or like $5 for like, I think there's 20 in the Chamel collection. Anyways, I thought, you know what, I could do this for cheaper. And I don't know if it really is cheaper once I pay for all the supplies that I bought, but anyways, I DIY'd this. So what you'll need is you'll need wood buttons. I bought these on Amazon, but you can probably find them for cheaper on AliExpress. And they also have them at Michael's. So I'll link below where I've seen these, but I'll link below where I bought them too. The ones that I bought came in a ton of different sizes, which kind of sucks, but kind of is good. The reason it sucks is because you have to have different hole punches for each size. But I guess the good part would be that you have a bunch of varying sizes buttons that you could make. So I measured all of the buttons and put them in like individual baggies. So I measured the inside part because that's what size punch you'll need for that. So this is like 9/16 inch buttons. These ones are 5/8 in the center. So I have a 5/8 inch punch for those. These are like 3 1/8. These little tiny ones are 5/16. And is that right? Yeah, 5/16. I guess. That's what my bag says, so I'm gonna go with it. And then there's a couple, like, these are 1/2 inch ones, these are 3/4. Anyways, it comes with a bunch of different sizes in the ones that I got. I think Michael's, those ones were 3 sizes. But yeah, these are the sizes that I have. So all I had as far as hole punches went before I got these was a 5/8 inch punch, a 1 inch punch, which would be too big, and then I had like a regular hole punch, which was, the regular hole punch is just a little too small for these ones. So I found this at Hobby Lobby, which is like a confetti punch. You know, it just punches out multiple little circles. The reason I liked it is because it had a bunch of different sizes. So I thought, hey, I bet that there's enough sizes here that it would work for my buttons. And for the most part, it does. It has pretty much every size except for 3/4 punch, 3/4 inch, and a 1/2 inch. So I ordered a 1/2 inch punch. That's not here yet because I have a ton. These are all my 1/2 inch buttons, and I really like that size. So I ordered a 1/2 inch punch just so I could do those. Again, like I said, this turned into like a way more expensive DIY than it needed to. So anyways, I have this punch. This little circle here works perfectly for these buttons here. So yeah, that's what you need. You need wood buttons. You'll need your punches that match your sizes of your buttons. You'll need glossy accents. So this is going to be very similar to the last DIY I did, which I will link below if you haven't seen that yet, because we're using all the same techniques as when we did that. So you'll need some sort of poking utensil, so like a needle or something to poke the bubbles out of the glossy accents. And then this is for, well, I'll show you what this is for, but you'll need some sort of like non-stick surface and some sort of temporary adhesive. So in this case, I'm just using this little cheap Iris container. Well, it's not Iris, it's like a Recollections like photo container. I have a bunch of these. So this one I'm just gonna use, and I'm gonna put on my temporary adhesive here, and I'll show you why in a minute. So to start, you'll decide which size buttons you're gonna do. I'm just gonna do the little ones because I have a ton of those. So I'll do little ones to show you how to make these. And actually I'll do a 5/8 too because I have a 5/8 one drying. So So 5/8. So you'll decide on what paper you want to punch. For the little ones, because they're so tiny, you can't really get like any sort of image on your punch. It would have to be very, very tiny to be able to get like an image on there. So I like to use glitter cardstock for these. I think they turn out really, really cute. But you can use any kind of paper you want. I mean, you can use pattern paper, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just like the way that the glitter cardstock looks. I also really like the way that like gold foiling on paper looks. So like a gold, here's one that's already punched out. It's like a gold foil paper. So that ends up looking really cute too. So you'll get your paper that you want. Just grab some just from my scrap box, some glitter cardstock. And this small one is the one we're going to use. So I don't need to put it all the way in. I just need to go over to this little corner here and just punch my holes that I want. You just decide how many buttons you want. I'm just going to do a couple. And then, once you have your cardstock out, so this part, if you remember from a previous video, I said if you just add glossy accents to paper, you'll get that curling up effect. I'm not sure that it would happen so much to this glitter cardstock because it's really thick, but if you use a regular cardstock, it will for sure curl. Even on a tiny little hole like this, it'll still curl up. So to remedy that, me and Mary had a lot of discussion about this because my first batch of these did not go well. Now, if you did, because this is what I did first, is I punched a hole, or I, punched a piece of paper, put it in there, like glued it in there, and then I did the glossy accents on top, and then I let it sit for 24 hours because that's how long you have to wait. Now what happened when I did that was that it darkened the wood, and maybe if you got better quality buttons or buttons that were like stained or something, it wouldn't make that big of a deal. But for these ones, it darkened the wood where the glossy accents touched, and it looked really, really bad. So that's why me and Mary discussed that we needed to do the glossy accents prior to gluing them into the button. But again, you have the curling effect if you just lay your paper down and don't worry about that. So to remedy that, this is where our smooth surface comes in and our temporary adhesive. So I just roll this temporary adhesive just a couple times to make a little sticky surface on your iris container. And then you just take your punched pieces of paper and lay them on top here. And I don't like to lay them right next to each other because then they can kind of glue together and then you're having to cut glossy accents from it. But go ahead and make sure that they're stuck right on there, a little bit spread apart from each other. And then you're going to apply your glossy accents. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so this is just like when we did our last DIY embellishment. So you're just going to put a tiny bit to create a little bit of bubble. If you put too much on these little ones, the glossy accents will just go right off of it. So you really don't need to add too much. And then if you have any bubbles, you'll pop them at this point. I've gotten really good at using my glossy accents though, because I've made so many of these that I rarely get bubbles anymore. But then you just use your little poking tool to get any bubbles out, and then just to drag the glossy accents all the way to the edge here. So that's all I'm doing. It's just dragging it to the edge on all of these little circles. And then once you have all of your circles made that you want to make, then you're going to let that sit and dry for 24 hours. So I mean, you don't really have to wait for 24 hours with these small ones because they do dry relatively quickly. But I think to be on the safe side, just let them dry for 24 hours. I just think it works best that way. So we'll set those aside and let those ones dry. But I have some that have dried already. So I did a couple glitter ones. This is from a Chamel paper pad. I think this is from a crepe paper pad. But I just did this on my, this is my iris container that holds all my enamel dots. So anyways, so you're gonna have to just get this up because you've got it on there with your adhesive, and then you'll see, well, I don't know if you can see, but maybe you can, that on the edges you'll see that the glossy accent's kind of spilled over. So you just take some scissors and trim that. Not a big deal. And then once you've got it trimmed, then you're just going to take your button, put a little bit of glossy accents down in your button, and then you'll drop your little piece of paper, your hole punch little piece of paper right in there. And there you have your DIY wood button embellishment, just like that. So like I said, I did a little bigger one here. So this is a 5/8 one. And this one is actually, these are stamps from my Citrus Twist kit. So I just stamped them on some white cardstock and then just did glossy accents over the top. And this one will fit right inside of there. So same thing, you're just gonna add your glossy accents and you'll just glue that right in there. And there you go, you have your larger wood button embellishment. And like I said, these glitter ones, these are probably my favorite ones that I made. I just think they're so cute and they're glittery and they look perfect to me. So I did some blue glitter. And there we go. I mean, how cute is that, you guys? So simple, so cute. And then the other thing that you can do, which I think looks really cute, but it kind of defeats the purpose, I think, of kind of DIYing this. But I used enamel dots in them. So this is an enamel dot just glued into a wood button, and clearly it's adorable because that's really kind of, I mean, that's what these basically are, like enamel dots inside of wood buttons. But what I really liked about the enamel dots is using like the really big ones. So I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of hard for me to use these larger enamel dots. So I always end up having a lot of these large ones left, and they fit perfectly. What size? I think it's the 3/8 inch ones. They fit perfectly in those. So I really liked the way that those came out too. I did a couple of those where I used enamel dots. So that's an option for you as well. But again, like I said, it kind of defeats the purpose of DIYing it because you're just sticking an enamel dot in a wood button. So this kind of makes it look like an enamel dot in a wood button when you're doing it yourself. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little DIY. I hope you guys make some of your own because I'm obsessed with them, and I'm going to have probably a million buttons now because I really enjoy doing this. I know Mary bought some too. So yeah, you'll probably see lots of wood buttons on our projects now. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video and if you want to see more DIY embellishments videos. And I will see you soon. Bye.